I am James Yoder from the Michigan Football Report, folks. Michigan loses 28-21. I'm crying here. I've got the no turnover chain with me, and tell you what, I think it did some good today, right? I had my son wearing it all day with a backwards Michigan football hat, and he looked like a gangster, but didn't come out to help the team that well. But let's take a look at true, false questions that the Michigan football Illuminati sent to me before the show, right after the game, before we jump on the show, and we're going to answer them. I am going to ask you guys to answer them with me. So, Dylan, toss up the first question. I'm going to adjust my seat a little bit here because Tom jumped off the set. We had to reorganize the set here really quick live. I just want to make sure I am comfortable so I can answer questions for you guys. I'm going to make sure Tom's drinks and all that stuff get off. Let's take a look. Should Harbaugh be fired? Type below. These are your questions for you guys watching to answer. I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to go false in this one. What are you talking to me? A false? You're just going to do it. Okay, got it. Dylan's trying to toss up a false there as I'm fixing my wire here. I'm like, this guy, he's trying to get me fired. Yoder said Harbaugh's getting fired. I'm saying false. Look, Dylan, as we go through these, feel free to throw up any graphics that you want. I'll talk about these for a second. I thought this was a good performance, right? I thought that they started sluggish. I'm sorry, we had some sluggish moments, but this team looked like they wanted to play, which has been the case always under Jim Harbaugh, unfortunately and very surprisingly. And I thought the offensive game plan was great in the first couple drives, and then it went back. It regressed for the rest of the first half, and that was disappointing. But they came out in the second half wanting to win, and I can only leave this game bummed. It's another year. All the pundits and the scribes and the blog boys of other teams are going to come out and say, Harbaugh's a bum, fire Harbaugh, all this different stuff. But for me, I actually took some positives away from tonight for the Michigan football team. How about Shea Patterson? Should Shea Patterson remain the starting quarterback for the Wolverines? Type SP if you think it's true that Shea Patterson should remain the starting quarterback. Type DM, maybe toss it to JM if you want. Dylan McCaffrey, Joe Milton. The backup quarterback is always the favorite guy at every football program if the starter isn't winning every single game. So SP for true, DM for false. Don't wait for me, Dylan. Just toss those graphics up whenever you want. Got you. I'll hit you up there. I think Shea Patterson's got to stay the starting quarterback. He showed some good things from what I saw on the day. So I'm waiting. Dylan, toss those stats up, baby. Don't wait for me to go. If I start struggling here, I'm waiting for you to toss them. Let's get these stats up there. 24-41, 276. No touchdowns for Shea Patterson. Had that one rushing touchdown. Put some work through on the ground. I thought Shea was a warrior tonight. He needs to stay the quarterback for the Michigan football team. So anyone calling for his game, his head tonight, didn't watch the same football game I did. I thought there were certainly passes that he could have made better, but he was not helped out by his wide receivers, and I tweeted this out. Well, Peoples-Jones, Nico Collins, Tariq Black, maybe there's a reason that they're not getting play. Maybe there's a reason more catches. There's a reason that two-star Ronnie Bell is outperforming them pretty much the entire season because all those guys are dropping passes. I know Ronnie Bell did drop one there at the end, but Tariq Black is basically non-existent anymore. Nico Collins dropped a vital play in the pass in the first half. And Donovan Peoples-Jones does not deserve all the touches he's getting because he dropped at least 4 balls. I stopped tracking count after the second quarter. So those are 4 passes he dropped in the first quarter. The first half for Michigan. DPJ ends up with 5 catches for 46 yards, a long of 19. Ronnie Bell with a long of 35. I think that's the longest catch and pass of the day for Michigan's football team. Is Josh Gattis on the hot seat? Michigan's embroiled, young and unproven offensive coordinator. Is Josh Gattis on the hot seat? Type F for true. He's on the hot seat. Type K for false. What do we think? That's keep him? He's keeping him? All right, I like that, Dylan. Dylan behind the scenes, the most creative guy in the true and false game. That's how he got his girlfriend playing a little true or false. Right after they played Spin the Bottle at his fraternity house last year at Oklahoma State. Let's take a look at the stats from the game. I'm saying true on this one. I'm saying that he's on the hot seat, and not because tonight was anything worse. You saw I gave him my best grade of the year. I think it's the only game I didn't give him a D or an F, but I can't forget about the first half of the season. But I at least think there's promise tonight. And so if he capitalizes on what they did on offense tonight and they move forward and put up big stats against Notre Dame, beat Michigan State, and they don't look pathetic on offense, and they get things going with the talent they have, then he gets to stick around and be offensive coordinator next year if he wants to. I think he probably does, because I don't think anyone else is going to hire him if he doesn't get things turned around. But if they sleepwalk through 3 or 4 more games out of the last 5 and lose a bowl game, look like crap, then Harbaugh's going to have to fire him. So he's on the hot seat, meaning that he better get his ass in gear and score some points and have a functioning offense like we did today in every single game going forward, like Oklahoma does every single game, like Ohio State does every single game. You can't just have 1 out of 7 games, Josh Gattis, to not be on the hot seat. So good game from Gattis, good game from the offense in a lot of ways. Too many drops, didn't get the ball in the end zone when he needed to, but I thought it was a good game. Gattis can only build on it from here if he's going to remain Michigan's offensive coordinator. Guys, make sure to get going with the Action Network, chatsports.com/deal. I am just pulling discounts out of my pocket, throwing them at you. Chatsports.com/deal, 40% off their monthly service charge, their monthly fee, subscription fee, $9.99 a month. You get it for $5.99 a month. And that's because we hooked you up. I was doing so good using their app. I called them up and I said, hey, I'm trying to make our viewers rich too. Trying to fly. I want them to fly private to Michigan games like I do. And if they do, they're going to have to get going with Action Network. But they don't want to pay them $10, $5.99 a month. I'm telling you, it's the best deal if you want to put money on any football games. Gives you insights and analysis. It basically tells you every game where to bet. And you bet it, you're going to win at 65, 70% like I am. So get going with the Action Network app, chatsports.com/deal. Will Michigan make a New Year's Six bowl game? I'm Ron Burgundy. Type NY, New Year's for true. Type no for false. So let's think about the New Year's bowl games, right? You've got the 2 playoff games. Then you've got I don't even know what the playoff games are this year. I should know that. I'll have to look. I think one's in Miami, one's in... Look those up for me, Dylan. NY6 playoff 2020. What are the college football playoff games this year? I've got it up here, actually, Dill. Yeah, but which ones are the playoff games? So the playoff games are actually played before them, which is, by the way, the whole playing the playoff games, the semifinals on New Year's Eve that they did for the first couple of years was so stupid. I'm glad they got rid of that. But Peach Bowl in Atlanta and Fiesta Bowl out in Phoenix are the semifinals. Those are both on Saturday night, December 28th. And the New Year's Six games, there's also one on Saturday, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, the Capital One Orange Bowl, okay, the Orange Bowl on the 30th, and then on January 1st, you've got the Sugar Bowl at night and the Rose Bowl at the 5 o'clock spot. So will Michigan make one of those games? I think that means they've got to be one of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten. Right now, they're certainly not. It's Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Penn State, bearing there. So I'm saying false. It's good. Yeah, sorry, Dylan. I should have pointed that out to you. False. I'm saying no because it means they can only max lose 1 game from here on out. And I think they probably would have to beat Ohio State and maybe lose to Notre Dame. So if they're going to make one of those games. So I'm saying false. But you're going to bet on Michigan's game next week against Notre Dame. I'm betting they're going to be 4 point. You're going to say I'm crazy, but I'm pretty accurate on this. I'm saying Michigan's going to be 4 or 4.5 point underdogs. I didn't say favorites. Underdogs. So Notre Dame will be favored by 4 or 4.5 points going into this game. And you can put money on it next week. You can either ride the Michigan offensive wave in a good way, or you could fade the Wolverines, get going with BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GOOBLUE for 120% deposit bonus. Guys, after our questions, we're going to do one more Q&A, right, Dylan? One more Q&A. Take your questions. So use hashtag Michigan right now. We'll get to them about 5 minutes from now. Next question up. Did Michigan blow this game? Good question, Dylan. I like this one. Yeah, they did. This is true. This is one of the more frustrating games because this literally could have turned the tide for Jim Harbaugh. This team and this program was a Ronnie Bell catch and fall over away from potentially turning everything around. The narrative could have changed. You went back to you take this momentum and you go to a night game in Ann Arbor next week. You dominate this game like you see. Shea Patterson plays great. And you go to Notre Dame. You play Notre Dame at home next week. You win that one. The narrative changes. Tom Yoder, the bartender, waiting on there. Hook me up with it really quick when Dylan's up there. I'll put that there for you. Come back whenever you want, but give me some of that H2O from out there if you can. 24-21 for Shea. Let's take a look at the rushing leaders, right? Let's take a look at these rushing leaders for the Wolverines against Penn State. I thought Michigan blew this game. Everybody played well tonight, except for the wide receivers dropping balls. I thought everybody on the offense showed some heart. The team showed heart. We've got those L3s too, Dylan, so go through those as we go throughout the rest of the show here from my notes earlier on. I thought this team showed heart, and I'll tell you what, I don't know, just the rest of the show. I thought that Ronnie Bell might be the heart of this team. I know he dropped that pass at the end. I know he wasn't the man in that last play of the game, but I thought this team showed heart, and I thought Ronnie Bell might be the leader of this team. Michigan loses to Penn State, 28-21. We are in our live Michigan Football Report live show following the loss in Happy Valley, and I am doing Michigan football true or false. Subscribe, or no, I like Dylan. Dylan's a smart guy. I like these questions you're pulling out here, Michigan. Here's the question. You should subscribe to the Michigan Football Report, true or false. Type S if true, means subscribe. Type N for false, meaning no, don't subscribe to this channel. These guys are bums. They need to have their iPhones taping them at an angle with poor lighting and poor sound like all the other shows out there on YouTube and on the internet, the Detroit Free Press, etc., that try and compete with the king of Michigan football media, James Yoder. News, rumors, highlights, grades, Q&A, and hour plus live. How long have we been live here, Dylan? Hour and a half almost? What? Hour 15. We are crushing it. And it's all thanks to you guys. Make sure to subscribe. We've got some more questions, or is that all for the true and false? Got more questions. We're going to keep this bad boy rolling. So let's take a look at our next questions coming up. So we're going to go to the question and answer. Okay, so we're going to wrap up our Michigan football true or false and finish the show. We've got about 10 minutes of live Michigan football Q&A coming up right now.